y'all being here. And we have a lot to get to today, a lot to go over. Some very special guests joining us today as well, by the way. Really looking forward to having Zico and Sanchez joining us in studio. The founder of the Unf America Tour, so certainly looking forward to having her here in studio. Coming up here in a little bit, you know, I've been wanting to get this guy on the show for a while. Alex Jones, or I'm sorry, not Alex Jones. Did I say Alex Jones? No, he already has done this show before. Alex Stein is going to be joining us on the program. I hate to use this term on the radio, but I'm going to use it now. I don't like to use this term, but Alex Stein said that everyone who attended the No Kings protest, for lack of a better term, are retards. He used that term, and then apparently he was assaulted. So he's going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour. Looking forward to speaking with Alex coming up here in just a little bit. I had my own experiences at the No Kings protest, which we're going to get to here. But I want to say this to start, because I think this is really important. I was amazed, and I was extremely happy with the turnout for the No Kings protests over the weekend. It made me feel really good, and it made me feel like there's still a lot of really, really, really good people out there that care about our democracy. There's a lot of people out there that care about this country. These protests were nonviolent. There were a lot of good people out there that took the time out of their day because they care and they love this country. They don't hate this country. I'm really proud of all of you. I'm proud of everybody, the 6 or 7 million people that protested peacefully throughout the country, the 6 or 7 million people that care about our democracy. I was really, I don't want to use the term like amazed, but I was very happy and a lot of gratitude. And I met a lot of listeners of PTL. The first rally I went to was in Henderson, Nevada, where there were thousands of people lined up along the sidewalks protesting peacefully. Then I went downtown, and I'll get to all that. I said a few words. I was able to speak downtown in front of the peaceful protesters, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. But I had some run-ins, and I've got some stories to tell. And again, I want to start out by saying how proud I am of it. Made me feel really good to see so many wonderful people out there, really across the country, protesting peacefully. And it really made me feel like, you know, we got a chance. So I woke up in the morning, and the first protest that I decided to attend was a protest in Henderson, Nevada. If you guys don't know Nevada very well, it's about 15, 20 minutes from the Strip. And as soon as I got there with a few friends, I was amazed. I was amazed at the thousands of people that were lining up the streets and the sidewalks. I was really excited. And I felt a sense of gratitude, and I had a lot of people that were coming up to me, which always makes you feel good, the good people here that listen to my radio show. Sometimes you forget, right? I mean, I get people from all over the place that call into this show every day, and it's great, and I'm very thankful. But being able to meet the listeners face to face, it really is humbling, and I really appreciated that very, very much. So as I mentioned, my first stop was Henderson, Nevada. And the first run-in I had, for lack of a better term, I see a Trump supporter. And there were a few, not many, but I saw one guy wearing a Trump hat and a Charlie Kirk shirt. And my objective was certainly not to get into a physical altercation with him. It wasn't my objective to get into any type of, you know, altercation. I wanted to have a discussion, debate. And it turned into something that I didn't want it to turn into, but I've documented it and I recorded it. So this is me. I'm going to send you the whole video, unedited. This is me going up to a Donald Trump supporter and starting a conversation with him. Keep in mind, there are thousands of anti-Trumpers out there, but he decided to wear his Trump shirt, exercising his First Amendment rights, totally fine. This is the altercation that transpired. Have a listen and watch this. So you have a sign here that says, "All hail King Trump." You think the president of the United States should be a king?
No, he's not a king. That's why this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Who was prosecuted as a liable abuser, Joe Biden or Trump?
The judicial system as a scam. I'm not even going to go there. So.
Okay, so was the judge a Democrat in that case? So you don't even know who the judge is. You're not here to have. You're not.
I don't know a judge's name.
So how do you know he's? So how do you know he's a Democrat? Yeah, I'm just interviewing him. Why? What's wrong?
Please, I just don't want it to get.
It's not. It's not. We're just having a conversation.
But we are not allowed to protest. Actually, in the media, we have to be on one side of the street.
Yeah, I'm just recording him. That's all. All right.
Please, sir.
You're a coward. You're a coward. You're a coward. You're a coward. You support a rapist.
28.
You support a rapist. Charlie Kirk was a piece of shit. You heard me. You heard me. You heard me. You heard me. You gotta get. He was. He was. He was.
Why are you walking away?
Hey, break it up now. Break it up now. Let's go. We're not going to sit here and do
He's
this.
doing it to me.
We're not going to sit here and do
All right.
this, okay? We're not
Okay.
going to sit here and do
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Right?
He's physically going after me.
We're not going to sit here and do this,
Okay.
okay?
I appreciate you.
Let's
I
just agree
appreciate
that
you.
we can just all be out here and enjoy our
I appreciate you.
rights, okay?
No, I appreciate that. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah. No,
All right, cool.
he was chasing after me. I was just interviewing him.
Okay.
Yeah, he was coming after me. I got you. I got you.
We'll be on the west side.
So if I say, officer, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So if I say, hey, I didn't like Charlie Kirk, I think he was a piece of crap, I'm allowed to say that, right?
I mean, it's for sure. Your First Amendment, right? But what we don't want to happen here is
You don't
we
want to escalate it. I got
want
you.
it to
I got you.
escalate and then ruin the whole thing for everybody
Yeah.
else, okay? So we'll let him do his thing, just like he
understand.
has the
I
right. So
understand.
I appreciate you being cool.
I understand. No, I appreciate what you do. Charlie Kirk was a piece of crap. Charlie Kirk was a piece of crap. Charlie Kirk deserves to be in jail. He's not there now, though, is he? He's not there now, is he? That guy supports a rapist. Says the video. Okay.
There's a buffer zone. You can free do. Yeah. Right next to our shirt. So we don't have contact days.
Oh, I mean, we were just debating. I understand. No problem. So what do you want? So I'm not allowed to talk.
If you want to just go on the side of the street, or you want to go further up there, but
I just wanted to talk to him. I'm not allowed to talk.
yeah, I would. It's not doing that, right?
I hear you, man. I hear you, brother. I hear you, brother.
For the respect.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I appreciate what you guys do.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the entire confrontation, for lack of a better term, I guess. It was certainly not my intention to get into any type of physical altercation with him. My intention was to try to figure out why he calls Joe Biden. Now, listen, when we started the conversation, I knew it probably wasn't going to go very well. But when he said Joe Biden's a pedophile, that's when it went south pretty fast. My intention was to have a debate with him. But when somebody says that Joe Biden's a pedophile, and I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody, with the camera and the audio, and it's, I guess we're doing the best we can to try to figure that out while I'm trying to do the show. So hopefully we'll get that all taken care of. Numchuck's doing the best he can here. So don't worry, everybody. I'm here, even though it's a blackout. Numchuck, if you want to use the other camera, you can use the other camera, so long as people can see me. But it was not my intention to get into, any type of physical altercation. Obviously, that wasn't my intention. But when I saw him wearing a Charlie Kirk shirt, and when I saw him say Joe Biden's a pedophile, what was that guy there for? Now, you could say he was using his First Amendment right to do so, and I totally agree. But once you start lunging at me, then that turns into assault. I had the right to say Charlie Kirk is a piece of crap, which, by the way, I will always believe that. And I had the right to get into a debate discussion. And if anybody out there wants to say, Brian, you were the aggressor. Really? I didn't lunge at anybody. I didn't break the law. When you're chasing somebody around, that's actually breaking the law. So that's how that went down. And then I see a woman wearing Trump paraphernalia, and I decided to go up her. And again, you will see that I was very respectful to her as well. I wasn't calling her names. I wasn't raising my voice. She had a sign up that said Trump 2028. So I decided to approach her. That's the woman right there. I decided to approach her, and it started out as a very respectful conversation. What I didn't know is that apparently her boyfriend or husband was the guy that I had just gotten into the confrontation with. I did not know that. So I want to play for you as we switch cameras again. I want to play for you this interaction that I had with this lady at this protest. Have a listen to this. About your sign.
My sign?
Trump 2000. Yeah, what does that mean?
2028. I feel like it's not so much as we want him to turn again in 2028.
So why have a sign that says that?
Just kind of go with the whole no kings. Because you guys came up with the kings. And we're just,
I didn't come up with anything. I'm just asking you a question. Yeah.
but the other side came up with the whole kings. So
Sure.
we kind of took it.
All right. So you don't want Trump. You wouldn't vote for Trump for a third time.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's...
It's not legal. It's not. Yeah.
Right. Right. I say
Yeah.
things,
No, I appreciate that. You don't have kids. You have kids. So you have 3 daughters. If a middle-aged man went into a teenage girl's locker room without your daughter's permission and looked at them half naked, is that somebody that you would support?
I'm not going to answer that just because
You can't
those
answer
are
that.
things that are being said, but there's no proof.
Actually, Donald Trump said that on the Howard Stern show. Yeah.
My oldest daughter doesn't have the same beliefs as me.
Okay, but hold on. I understand. You're a mother, which I appreciate.
Right.
Donald Trump on the Howard Stern show.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but he's an idiot. Oh, you don't touch me. That's about your sign. So that was her husband that approached me and then smacked me with his sign. That's when police got involved and they were asked to leave. That's all I know about what took place there. So that was an interaction that I didn't expect to have when I went to the No Kings rally yesterday. But that's what took place. I go up to this guy. We get into a confrontation, for lack of a better term. I'm challenging him. I'm saying things which are my First Amendment right to say. Didn't threaten him in any way, shape, or form. And then he starts chasing after me. The cops get involved. Then I go up to this lady. Didn't know that she was his girlfriend or wife or whatever. And then he attacks me with a sign, and then police asked them to leave, which I assume they did because I did not see them after that situation took place. So anyway, that was kind of the gist of what took place when I started there in Henderson yesterday. I met a lot of listeners of the show, shook a lot of hands, took some selfies, and it was a lot of fun to meet some of you out there, and I appreciate you guys very much. It's very humbling to me, and I was just amazed at the turnout. It was so great. There were so many wonderful people out there exercising their First Amendment rights, not because they hate America, they love America, and I really did appreciate that very much. Then I decided to go downtown. If you know Las Vegas area, it's close to where Fremont Street is. I went downtown. I was asked to say a few words. I spoke for a few minutes, and the turnout was unbelievable. There were blocks that were shut off. The police did a great job, by the way. Everybody did a great job. It was peaceful. People were enjoying themselves, exercising their First Amendment rights because they care about this country. It wasn't violent. There was no Hamas. There was no terrorism. There was no political violence. It was just people exercising their First Amendment right, and it was a lot of fun. And I really am humbled by it. And this is just all over the country. I'm just giving you my personal experience of what I saw yesterday, and it was great. And I really enjoyed it. And I commend everybody that went out, that came out, that took the time out of their day to go out there and to exercise your First Amendment rights because you're unhappy with where this country is headed. This was not a violent, in fact, you could actually make the case. I read an article that the only people that were arrested, and there were like 20 or so people throughout the country that were arrested, were MAGA supporters, that were agitators. That's what I read, which is awesome. That, you know, there were so many peaceful protesters out there on the right side of history, and I thought that was great. This was a great day for America, in my personal opinion, and Trump couldn't handle it. We saw the AI video that he put out. Absolutely despicable and disgusting for any president to put out a video like that. But I was deeply humbled, and it gave me hope. I don't know if it gave you hope, but it gave me hope that there were millions and millions of Americans, 7 million plus, that protested peacefully. Now, what's circulating on social media, apparently there's a teacher in Chicago that did some hand signals allegedly mocking the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And while I don't condone that sort of behavior, and I personally wouldn't do it, she was exercising her First Amendment rights as well, and MAGA are going nuts. You see, in this country, if you're a Republican or if you're a MAGA Republican, if you beat police officers on January 6th, they call you a patriot. But if you're a teacher that makes a hand gesture, which, by the way, I don't really condone, it's not something that I would do, they want you fired and they want you thrown in jail. These are the MAGA Republicans. And they said that this was a Hate America rally. I beg to differ. I actually think it was the opposite of that. I think it was a Love America rally because people care about this country and they care about the direction that the country is headed. That's what I thought. And I was deeply humbled by it. And it put a smile on my face. And like I said, it gave me hope. And I think we should do this every month. When I say we, I mean everybody that was involved. I think we should have these sorts of rallies every single month. Pick a day every single month to do it. That's what I personally believe. That's how I feel. So I thought it was a tremendous success. I thought I saw a lot of people out there that were extremely good people. And they're saying, oh, these were just a bunch of old people. No, I saw a lot of young people at these protests as well. I've heard MAGA Republicans lie and say these were all white people. Also not true. I thought these were people that represented the country. It felt like I was at a Kamala Harris rally, to be quite frank with you. There was a lot of love. There was a lot of camaraderie. Good people that care about this country. Those are the people that I met out there. And I really enjoyed it very much. And like I said, I was humbled by it, and it made me feel a sense of hope. And while all this is going on, as you know, we have Mike Johnson, who is not swearing in Adelita, as you know. And Carl was interviewing him over the weekend. And Mike Johnson was questioned on this, and I want you to listen to Mike Johnson's response as to why he's not swearing her in today. Have a listen to this.
When are you going to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva?
As soon as we get back to legislative session, when Chuck Schumer allows us to turn the lights back on.
Why haven't you done it already?
Because this is the way the institution works. I'm following the Pelosi precedent, by the way, when my dear friend from Louisiana, Julia Letlow, was elected to fill the seat of her deceased husband because of COVID. Nancy Pelosi took 25 days to swear her in. By the way,
are you saying? Let me stop you. Are you saying that Nancy Pelosi refused to swear her in earlier?
No, I'm saying that's my very point. Is this is
because my understanding is that was the date that actually the representative-elect Letlow at the time requested.
No.
She had obviously her.
Okay, here's some more examples. Okay.
No, but wait a minute. You mentioned the Pelosi precedent, but Pelosi didn't delay that.
No, let me give you more of the Pelosi precedent. Okay.
And what about the Johnson precedent? Because you swore in 2 Republicans the day after the election.
I'm happy to answer. Pelosi precedent. Pat Ryan, Joe Semplinsky. They were elected during an August recess. So 21 days later, when the House returned to regular legislative session, they were administered the oath. That's what we're doing.
So that's not what they are doing. That's a lie. He could have easily sworn her in today if he wanted to, and then he brings up Nancy Pelosi as an excuse, which, by the way, that's not an excuse. Completely different circumstances, because the person that Nancy Pelosi was swearing in requested that day. So that's also a blatant lie. And then Mike Johnson backtracks, and now he starts talking about health care again when he's asked about health care. Believe it or not, Mike Johnson, this is him stating the case that he's actually fighting for health care for the American people. You can't make this stuff up. Have a listen to this.
The Democrats did not vote for the clean funding bill. They have chosen to shut the government down to fight for the health care and the other items you mentioned. But let me ask you, why, as this is going on, why is the House not in session?
Well, first of all, we're fighting for health care as well, not just in word, but in deed. We put it in the one big beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut, real reforms to Medicaid to make it work better, to preserve the program, because we had illegal aliens receiving benefits. We had young able-bodied men who were not working, they don't have dependents, they were riding the wagon. We cleaned that up in our bill. In their counter-proposal, what Chuck Schumer was arguing for is he wants to reverse those reforms, which would be a terrible policy decision.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mike Johnson actually making the case that Republicans are the ones that are fighting for health care. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's so absurd and ridiculous. And again, while people are struggling to put food on the table, they're worried that they're going to lose their health care, they're going to lose their food stamps, so on and so forth. What is Mike Johnson concerned about, and what is Mike Johnson talking about? How Donald Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Listen to this.
A historic peace deal that just by sheer force of his personality, President Trump was able to push through. And I think he greatly deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. In fact, Speaker Ohana of the Knesset and I have joined forces to try to collect as many signatures as we can from other speakers and leaders of parliaments around the free world to join us in co-nominating President Trump for the next Nobel Peace Prize. There's no one's more deserving than that.
Yeah, there you go, because that's what's on Americans' minds right now. Let's get Donald Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. Absolutely absurd. And by the way, while this was going on, 2 Israeli soldiers over the weekend were brutally murdered at the hands of Hamas, and more attacks. And now Israel is refusing, or at least limiting, aid in Gaza. But I thought there was peace in the Middle East. I thought the war was over. Everybody wants to give Donald Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. I thought there was peace. Well, obviously the war is not over. I said that since the second Donald Trump claimed that it was over. There is no peace in the Middle East, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. Shocker, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump was lying to the American people. So that's what we had over the weekend. We had what I consider to be at least a very successful No Kings protests across the country. There were no violent crimes that were committed. Antifa, Hamas, terrorists, those were all lies put forth by the MAGA Republicans. There were a lot of good people around the country that were not paid by George Soros. There were people that were handing out waters, and there were organizers. I wasn't paid by George Soros. None of my friends were paid by George Soros. These were good, hardworking Americans that are concerned about where this country is headed, and they love America. And these were all lies put forth by Donald Trump. I didn't see any police officers beat with their own batons. I didn't see for anybody or calling for anybody to have politicians hung. I didn't see people trying to overthrow a free and fair election or storming any Capitol building. No, that would be January 6th. But there's a guy that's going to be joining us next. His name is Alex Stein. Now, Alex Stein is what you would call a satire comic who goes around and trolls Democrats. But he went to one of these No Kings protests, claims he was assaulted, and he's saying everybody that attempted the protest were quote-unquote retards. Those are his words, not mine. We'll ask him why he feels that way next. Alex Stein, host of Primetime with Alex Stein, joining us next. It's Pushing the Limits right here on KSHP.
Hey, everybody, are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premier Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
Have you ever dreamed of having your own radio show or a podcast, but just didn't think it was possible? Well, dreams can come true. Radio U. Radio U is a 5-day course that'll teach you how to acquire your dream show. We'll teach you how to host, how to write commercial, how to interview, how to market, how to write a contract, and most importantly, how to monetize your dream radio show. You'll learn from some of the best in the business with over 75 years in broadcast experience. You'll learn from people like me. And the best part, every single student will be live on the radio as part of the class. Plus, one student from each class will get their very own radio show. You'll be live on the air right here in Las Vegas. Radio U. The 5-day course is being offered at $699. For more information, give Radio U a call. 702-763-5024. That's 702-763-5024. Or check them out at radioyou.com.
Welcome back. It is Pushing the Limits on a Monday. Thank you so much for joining us. So as I've told all of you, November 8th in Washington, D.C., I'm going to be joined by Tim Pool, Myron Gaines, and one of those guys that's going to be up there on the stage in the Culture War podcast is the guy that I'm introducing right now. You've seen a lot of his videos on social media. I think it's fair to say satire and humor is a part of what he does. He was actually at one of those No Kings protests in Washington, D.C. Over the weekend. I don't know if you guys saw those videos. I certainly did. His name is Alex Stein, host of Primetime with Alex Stein, who joins us right now on the show. Alex, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Thank you, Brian. We're actually outside of the Broadview ICE facility right now. And we're kind of had to park far away because all the cops have it so roped off. That's where I was. That's why I was like, can we push it back 15 minutes? But I was just going to obviously go on your show, and then I'm about to go over there. But it actually kind of looks, a lot of these protests, especially yesterday, it looks kind of intense, but really they're just like social gatherings. And that's what it looks like what's going on right now. It looks like it's just like some sort of meet and greet, with tents and stuff. Like, like have a place to hang out, for lack of a better word.
So, Alex, you were assaulted over the weekend. Can you tell us what, because I saw the video, it seemed like somebody grabbed your hat and threw it. Like, can you tell us exactly what happened?
Well, yeah, I mean, this weekend was a little crazy. I went to the No Kings protest in Dallas, and I just wore like a normal shirt. I wasn't trying to stick out. And the whole entire protest or parade, or I guess protest, it was totally fine. Nobody said anything. And then there was a young man that was wearing a MAGA hat that all of a sudden, like towards the end of the protest, I didn't see the guy to the very end. All of a sudden, all these people started going around him. So then I went around him. Then somebody tried to steal his hat. And then out of nowhere, it was literally like a hornet, like we kicked a hornet's nest. Like everybody was around us. And yeah, I got like water thrown on me and, my hat knocked off my head. But it could have been worse. It wasn't that bad.
I don't condone any of that behavior, by the way, no matter what you're wearing or what you're saying. But I have to ask you this serious question. I don't know if you actually meant it or not, but you can tell me this because you say some things. I don't know whether do you really believe that everybody who attended these protests are quote unquote retards? You did say that. I mean,
no, I don't know if everybody is, but a lot of people there were. I mean, and I could say that because I'm retarded myself, so I'm allowed to make that diagnosis. But no, this is the real thing though, Brian. A lot of people are like you that were there, dialed in. They know politics. They kind of feel like they have, their finger on the pulse of the nation. A lot of people there had no idea really what was going on. You know what I mean? I'm saying there were some people that were dialed in.
So you're being funny, okay? I just want to be clear because I think that's what you were doing. You're not.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic. No, there were some smart people there. There were some people that were
understood.
Had higher IQs than me.
All right. Help me understand this. You did say that they were all vaccine injured.
A lot of them. I'm not even kidding, Brian. I'm not saying from the COVID vaccine. I'm saying from all. I mean, and listen, some vaccines are safe and effective. Some more of this and that. We can debate. But my point is, a lot of them there where they. I know this is going to sound, conspiratorial or something, but like when you kind of look at them and they kind of look almost like their body it's like the lights are on, but nobody's home. That's what I call the vaccine injured. Like I see the lights on, but it doesn't seem like anybody's home. And so, yeah, I do think a couple people there had minor myocarditis at that at the protest.
All right. Well, I mean, look, you would agree with me that we both don't want political violence on.
No.
Here's the part that, and I think we'll be able to talk about this probably in DC. I'm looking forward to meeting you and Tim and the guys on November 8th. That it happens on both sides, but yet I hear the right say they tried to kill Donald Trump. They killed Charlie Kirk. And I don't understand it when people talk like that. Help me understand.
Well, Bright, to be fair, because I go to a lot of protests, and when I get punched or something, I antagonize when I go to protests. Usually, I mean, even though I wasn't really trying to antagonize yesterday, I was actually trying to put in to just try to. But this is what I've noticed in all the protests I've been to, and I've been to some conservative ones. The worst thing I've ever seen on the conservative side was I seen some Proud Boys get in a fight with Antifa, where I saw, it was mutual. It was Proud Boys were talking shit, or we're on the radio, talking smack,
right?
And I've seen a fight, but I'm telling you. I don't know if I've been to 100 protests, but let's just say I've been to 50. Typically, and most leftists, I would say, are not physically aggressive. I would say most leftists, I kind of agree with you, are really kind of timid and nice, especially like trans rallies. But there's always a few people there that are, whether they're on 10 different antidepressants, I don't know what's going through their head, but I do feel like there are people that are more impulsive and more likely to kind of push you or hit you on the left than on the right when it comes to these things.
Help me though, because like 7 million people were protesting over the weekend.
I don't know if it's 7 million, but it was a lot in Dallas.
Well, even if it was millions, right, yeah. Alex? And from what I saw, I didn't see any police officers getting beat with their own batons. I didn't see anybody getting, hurt badly. Which, by the way, I'm happy. I'm happy you weren't hurt. Yeah. I didn't see that, Alex. I didn't see people storming a Capitol, beating cops. Like I don't know. I'm not saying. Listen. I've always wanted to say, listen, there are crazy people on both sides, right? But no question, you would agree with that. But I didn't see that yesterday, Alex. I didn't see a lot of the stuff that I didn't see a Hate America rally. I saw a lot of people that hate Donald Trump. I'm one of them, right?
That is true. That is true. That is true. But we're comparing this to an insurrection is a little different because one thing, and we could argue about this if we had more time. When it comes to January 6th, I could agree that the optics weren't great, but I think now we have the FBI saying that they had 275 FBI agents there. And I'm not saying the FBI agents are the ones that caused it to go crazy, but if there's 275 FBI agents, there's probably other police officers from other law enforcement agencies, maybe higher up than the FBI. So I do think that there was weird what I call agent provocateurs that were trying to make it look worse on January 6th. So that's why I think that one's a little different, because what could have happened yesterday is that there could have been that agent provocateur where somebody goes to a peaceful protest. And this is just the conspiracy side. Actually, it's called the World Trade Organization. And Alex Jones did a video on this like 20 years ago, exposing what they call as agent provocateurs, where they want to shut down a peaceful protest, so they pay somebody to go to that protest and not act peacefully. Now, I didn't see anybody at those events, but that's a very easy psychological operation to do. Just go to a protest and have a couple people act bad. I did not see that yesterday. I don't think there's any of those type of like provocateur people. So I don't think that's why it was that big. But you have to realize, Brian, everybody's hypersensitive because of what happened to Charlie, and rightfully so. So when you see people like saying, "Oh, I'm going to shoot you," and Charlie deserved to die, that is going to upset a lot of people.
I don't agree. I don't agree with people making statements like that. Listen, I've said some incendiary things about Charlie Kirk because my personal opinion, I don't think he was a good guy. But I think you would agree with me, Alex. There's a difference between not wanting to celebrate somebody's life and celebrating somebody getting murdered, which, by the way, I would never do. You would agree that those are two completely different things.
100%. And this is my one thing, though, to you to say that Charlie's not a great guy. This is the difference between Charlie and 99% of people that are actually in politics. Charlie would literally gave so much access. A guy that powerful, going to college campuses and talking to people that disagreed with him. Nobody does that. So even if you don't really like his viewpoints, the fact that he was actually trying to encourage that conversation when 99% of people that are at his level don't just let random strangers ask him questions off the street. As a matter of fact, now you see some of these other conservative people are trying to do the Q&As and they're not handling it as well as Charlie.
Why only college campuses? Why only, I mean, this is a conversation we could probably have in DC, but why just a bunch of 18, 19, and 20-year-old, in my opinion, ill-informed liberals? Why not do more debates with 30 and 40 and 50-year-olds? Why not do more debates with people that are more prepared? I get it. He wanted to get the younger people out there and spread the word. That's great. And by the way, the one thing I always say I have in common with Charlie Kirk, or had in common, sadly, with Charlie Kirk, is that he wanted people that disagree with him at the front of the line, which I appreciate very much. But I saw him debating a bunch of 19 and 20-year-old liberals like Ben Shapiro, and I'm thinking to myself, why not debate more actual adults, 30, 40, 50 years old? That's the thing I really didn't understand.
Well, I would argue, actually, Brian, some of these college kids have more information than us adults because they're just taking classes. They're dialed in, not with every subject, but some of these hyper-focused subjects. Some of the kids actually know it even better than Charlie or me in certain topics. But you are right. You're like, why college kids? Because I'm going to speak at Illinois State University. People are like, why do you want to go own college kids? It's not about owning college kids. It's that you can actually talk to a college kid and actually maybe change the trajectory of their life. Like when you're talking to somebody that's in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, it's just kind of harder to actually try to have them change my mind or prove me wrong, the whole idea. So I think that's why.
Well, I don't disagree. Alex, I don't listen. I'm part of the UNF America tour. We're speaking at UNLV on Wednesday. So
that's what I'm saying. See, and I love that. And I encourage you guys to go to as many college campuses. I would never say like, oh, don't do that, or get mad at those guys. I think that's actually good. I think that, and I honestly, I've never heard this from Charlie, but Charlie would make fun of Parker. So, but I think I think Charlie liked that. There was kind of a counter, thing going on to his, like that he's so big that he created that. Because well, I'm saying I would do a bit where I would pretend to be Charlie Kurt, and I would look like I'm Charlie, and Charlie thought it was funny because at the end of the day, it just brought more people to the Turning Point event. So he got the humor in it.
I'll tell you that.
Don't have that.
Alex, I know Parker very well. He's done this show before. He was at that event where Charlie Kirk was murdered, and he took it as badly as it's horrible to see somebody get murdered like that right in front of you is awful, right? And and I don't condone anybody celebrating what he did. I guess my thing is, right, and I'm sure you've seen, before I let you go, Alex, and by the way, I'm going to be with Alex Stein in Washington, D.C. On the 8th.
November 8th.
Yes,
November 8th, Saturday.
Yes, I'm looking forward to being up there on a stage with you. Myron's done this show before, so Myron's going to be up there with Tim Pool. I think I'm doing Tim Pool's show on Friday, too, this week. I'm flying out, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So going back to what I was said earlier, you see the images, Alex, of that. I don't want to make the movement that she made, but a teacher from Chicago who made that I don't know, hand gesture that I feel might have been inappropriate, right? I think we all could agree on that. But everybody seems to be up in arms on that. And I'm thinking to myself, while I wouldn't do that, I would rather somebody do that than commit a crime, right? I mean, why are MAGA so upset at that? I agree.
I agree in the First Amendment. I agree in her ability to even make that statement. I don't think she should go to jail. And I really don't. People might not like this. I really don't want her to necessarily lose her job. And I just had a teacher that knocked over our table, and they lost her teacher's assistant job at Illinois State. I don't like that either. I don't like when anybody loses their job. I don't care about their political viewpoint. But it goes back to what I'm saying is that right now, I'm a little more desensitized to it, but people on the right are very, very nervous because of Charlie. And some of that is very rightfully so. Some of that they're going to be hyper nervous, hypersensitive. So I think that's when you see this a month, 6 weeks after Charlie's death, I think that's why people are reacting. If Charlie wouldn't have passed away in such a violent, horrible way, this protest would not have pushed the buttons on the right. I think
people on both sides feel that way.
Well, and Brian, that's one thing at that protest. Everybody was pretty chill, but it did feel like just at any moment the bubble could burst. It was tense, like it was relaxed, but you could tell that it was like it just felt like they wanted to have a target to go after because there was a lot of anxiety and grief and pent up aggression.
Well, let me be clear here. That lady has the right to do what she does, just like you have the right to go to these protests and call people retards. I mean, you have the right to do that, and that doesn't mean people have the right to assault you or grab your hat or make any physical contact with you. And I agree with you. I don't think that lady should be fired. Now, I wouldn't do what she did. Guess what? I probably wouldn't do what you did either. But at the same time, it is what it is. I went to one of Donald Trump's rallies and I called it a Klan cult, and
you went viral for that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, because that's how I originally saw you. You called it a Klan. You got kind of you didn't get canceled, but that went viral. Yeah,
you probably disagree with me on that, but in a way, we both are doing the same thing. Where you're going to these rallies with people you disagree with. I'm going to these rallies with people I disagree with, and I've called them names. You call people names. We have the First Amendment right to do that. Just like you wouldn't condone anybody physically assaulting me. I feel the same way about. I don't want anybody physically assaulting you either. We have the right to do what we do, right?
I agree. And that's the thing is I just wanted to get physical. And I really truly do believe this. I know like a lot of the people on the right are complaining after yesterday, like we're under attack. It doesn't really, I don't think that we're under attack from Antifa, but at the same exact time, it only takes one crazy person to really make everybody look bad. So it's just, it only takes one Tyler Robinson to make, so it's a very touchy situation.
That's how I feel about Black Lives Matter protests. There were a small group of agitators that did some very bad things.
That's my point to the Black Lives Matter protest. What I was saying earlier, a lot of the black people there at the protest, we're not doing anything wrong. But then there's one guy that goes and burns down the O'Reillys, and and once again, I'm coming on your program defending BLM, but I'm saying a lot of those people at those rallies for BLM weren't trying to do anything wrong. It takes one person or a couple people.
Alex, what happened to you? You sound like too much of a reasonable person to be on my program.
I consider myself, pretty much in the middle. I'm a little more right. I don't like abortion, but socially, like once again, I believe in social services. I don't like that the government shut down and people can't get health care. I don't really like that. But at the same exact time, me personally, because I don't live off the government, I have seen no day-to-day difference in my life since the government shut down.
You sound like you're a moderate Republican in real life. Let's forget about the Alex Stein we see with your videos calling people retards. You sound like a moderate Republican. Are you?
Oh, yeah, I would think so, 100%. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't say I'm far right at all. No, not at all. No.
Fair enough. Well, Alex, I want you to give out the information one more time before I let you go. Talk about the event we got going on November 8th in Washington, D.C.
Guys, November 8th, we got Myron Gaines, Emily Saves America, Primetime 99 Alex Stein, Tim Pool, and the one, the only Brian Shapiro. And not only is this an interactive event, you guys will get to ask us questions. If there's a topic that you guys want to kind of do, micro debate or something like that, you're going to have the ability to come up and debate us on any topic that you see fit. So I really encourage everybody, if you're in the DC area, November 8th, it's in the afternoon at 3 p.m. So you guys will be in and out by 5 o'clock. You'll have the whole rest of your day. And even though it's at a night, it's at a comedy club, it's really laid back, very fun. It'll be very safe as well.
And for the record, if you call me a retard in DC, I won't be offended. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. Well, I am retarded, so I'm allowed to say that.
Fair enough. Alex, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting you out there in DC on the 8th. Thanks for doing the time. I appreciate it.
Good luck on Tim's show this weekend. I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate you. That's Alex Stein, everybody. I have to be honest with you. I did not think we would get a moderate Alex Stein on this show. We actually agree on a lot of different things. That was, I'm actually surprised. Now, obviously, me and Alex disagree on Donald Trump, and I'm sure we'll, in the more long form interview, I'm sure we will get into that. Obviously, I disagree with him on a lot of different issues. But, he has the right to go to one of these protests. Just like I have a right to go to a Trump rally and call people Klan members. I mean, we have the right as Americans to do that, and we certainly shouldn't be attacked for that physically. I don't know. Some of these guys, they do this show and they turn into moderate Republicans. I have that effect on people. I don't know what it is, but I'm glad we were able to clear that up. No, Alex doesn't think that everybody that goes to these rallies are retards, and I just wanted to clear that up with him because I went to some of those as well. All right, so what are we doing here? We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be joined by a nice lady by the name of Z. Cohen Sanchez. She is the founder of the UNF America Tour. I'm going to be doing an event with her this Wednesday at UNLV. I'm flying out to Virginia to do Tim Pool's show. Then I'm going to D.C. November 8th to do another show with Tim Pool. So I'm a busy guy. I got a lot going on. Z's going to be joining us next. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. It's Pushing the Limits right here on KSHP.
Have you ever dreamed of having your own radio show or a podcast, but just didn't think it was possible? Well, dreams can come true. Radio U. Radio U is a 5-day course that'll teach you how to acquire your dream show. We'll teach you how to host, how to write commercial, how to interview, how to market, how to write a contract, and most importantly, how to monetize your dream radio show. You'll learn from some of the best in the business with over 75 years in broadcast experience. You'll learn from people like me. And the best part, every single student will be live on the radio as part of the class. Plus, one student from each class will get their very own radio show. You'll be live on the air right here in Las Vegas. Radio U. The 5-day course is being offered at $699. For more information, give Radio U a call. 702-763-5024. That's 702-763-5024. Or check them out at RadioYOU101.com.
All right, welcome back. It is Pushing the Limits on a Monday. Thank you so much for joining us. That was quite the trip. I never thought I would actually say this on the radio, but Alex Stein sounded like a moderate Republican. That was really weird. I got to say, that freaked me out a little bit. Alex Stein, the moderate. That was kind of wild. Anyway, welcome back to the show. So I got a lot going on. I'm flying out to West Virginia on Thursday. I'm going to do Tim Pool's show on Friday. But before then, I have a really fun event that I'm so glad to be a part of, where all the local listeners are going to be able to come out and really from anywhere to be able to watch the Un-F America Tour in full action. I'm so happy to be a part of it. It's going to be at UNLV at 11 a.m., 11 to 2. Destiny's going to be there debating people. The legend himself, Robbie Roadsteamer, is going to be there. How could you miss that? I'm going to be there as well. I guess I'm going to be opening up the festivities. Don't worry, I'll keep all my clothes on, everybody, I promise. And lady joining us in studio right now, she's done this show before. She is the founder of the Un-F America Tour. Z Cohen Sanchez joining us in studio. Z, it is so good to see you. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for being here. So this is an exciting event that we're going to be doing on Wednesday. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we're going to be bringing the tour to UNLV. So this is the first time, I think the first time that we've been in a swing state, or at least an official swing state. So it's going to be interesting to see the type of reaction that we get.
How many people do you think are going to show up for this thing?
I think quite a few. I mean, listen, it's 11 a.m. Foot traffic's going to be high. So,
and where is it? It's in the amphitheater, right?
It's in the amphitheater.
I've never been there before. I've been to UNLV a million times. I don't know where the amphitheater is.
It's like kind of the middle-ish of campus. So there's a lot of buildings around. A lot of people are going to be walking around.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good. And I guess I'm going to be starting the festivities and debating students. Is that my understanding?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we need some Trumpers to show up.
Yes.
It's not going to be fun if I'm debating a bunch of loyal fans of my show that are anti-Donald Trump. That's not fun.
Do you think that there's not going to be?
Well, I mean, I think there's going to be some people but we want a lot of Trumpers out there.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
I would think, I think most of the students at UNLV were going to find a lot.
And it's free, right? This is free to show up. Mm-hmm. It's free to be there. Destiny's going to be debating right towards the end for probably like a good solid hour or so, maybe.
Yeah.
He's going to be debating students there, which is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun going to your event at Colorado State. That was super cool. I had a really good time, and there's a lot of really nice, good people within your organization that seems to be growing by the day, right?
Yeah, we are. Like, we've had a lot of support the last couple weeks. So hopefully we're going to get some good footage and we're going to have some good debates.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Any other events that you're planning on doing after this that you can speak of yet that you're hoping to do?
So we're hoping to do Virginia Tech on November 3rd. We do not have an official permit yet, but that's the plan. That's the day before Election Day. Virginia is a very important election. So we're really hoping that we can get out there. And then, of course, AmFest, right? Which is December 20th.
Yep.
That is the Republican Super Bowl. So
and Charlie Kirk was supposed to be out there for that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
What do you make of this now? We're like, 5 weeks after the murder of Charlie Kirk. And it just seems like there's only one Charlie Kirk, and you and I both agree on, I don't think he was a very good guy, but obviously he didn't deserve this to happen. We all agree on that. We don't have to go back there, but it just seems like Turning Point now, they're kind of struggling to see who's going to be the face of Turning Point. And I don't think there is not another Charlie Kirk. So I don't know what they're going to do. Do you have any sense of what you think they're going to do? I
think they're in a lot of trouble right now because they've got numerous tours going on, but none of them seem to be picking up steam at all. So they've got I know the Blexit thing. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
Yeah, that's that's not going very well, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Turning up to HBCUs with a bunch of Black conservatives, as you can imagine, isn't going well. I know it's crazy to think.
Right.
And then they also have, and then there's a bunch of stuff going on where they're not official Turning Point tours, but people are kind of bringing it upon themselves, and people think that they're Turning Point tours. So like David Cott and Cam Higbee have one. They can't even get one person to the table.
Don't even get me started with Cam Higbee. I've gotten into it with him so many times. He did the show once. You won't come back on. I just think he's a moron.
Yeah.
What do you make of these idiots? And that's just going to use the term idiots, okay, like Nick Sorto and Cam Higbee and these morons who make a living chasing after Antifa with pepper spray. That's really what they do.
Yeah.
I just find them despicable. There are ways you can disagree and maybe for the good. And some people might say, well, Brian, you got to do it with a Trump supporter at this No Kings rally, which I did. But I only did that. I asked him respectful questions until he said Joe Biden was a pedophile, and then I said, okay, that's it. This guy's how can I have a respectful conversation with somebody like that? But I mean, that's who these people are.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we had David Cott debated Destiny when we were at the Student Action Summit, and I mean, talk about somebody that has no type of like debate skills at all. All he wanted to talk about is how Destiny is gay and his sex, all these things, right? That have nothing to do with Trump or any of his policies.
I was there for that. That guy was a weird dude, very disrespectful. But it's interesting because we just had Alex Stein on and we were talking about, listen, I know Alex Stein was friends with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to sit here and just badmouth him 24/7 when I have Alex on. But Alex said, well, listen to what Charlie did. He went from campus to campus and debated and he, he was willing to do. I said, yeah, but he just debated a bunch of 19 and 20-year-old ill-informed liberals. That doesn't make you a great debater. Why didn't he debate a bunch of 30, 40, and 50-year-olds? And I said, yeah, we're going to UNLV. That's great. But I go on the air every day and I'll debate anybody. I don't care how old they are.
Yeah.
If you're one of the best debaters around, like, and by the way, I think Destiny is one of them. Why would you only debate a bunch of college kids? That's what Charlie Kirk did. I'm just being honest here. And I said that to him. It's like, to me, that doesn't make you some phenomenal debater. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, he wouldn't debate anybody except for Hassan, which I mean, let's not get into, but I don't think that's exactly
Mehdi Hassan you're talking about?
No. Oh, I wish he would debate Mehdi
Hassan would destroy him.
Oh, he would destroy
you're talking
him.
about, I know who you're talking about.
Hassan Piker.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, listen, what's done is done. It's an unfortunate circumstance. I don't know what turning point USA is going to be doing, but I'll tell you this. Before we take calls, I wanted to ask you about these rallies that took place over the weekend. There was one in Pahrump where you're living. I went to the one in Henderson. Then I went downtown to the other No Kings protests, and I spoke. I was asked to speak for a few minutes, and I thought the turnout was great. It was not violent. These were not terrorists.
Yeah.
There were people dressed up as dinosaurs and chickens that were, just wanted to exercise their First Amendment rights. And Alex Stein even just agreed with me. He's like, no, these were not violent protests.
Yeah.
These were not all, I'm not going to use the term again that he used. These were, a lot of these people care about our democracy. And what do you make of the fact that that there's so many Republicans out there that were labeling it a hate America, that's what it is. And these people are Hamas backers and they're terrorists. I saw the opposite. I saw it for myself, at least here.
Yeah.
It was the opposite.
It was the opposite. Yeah. I mean, even in Pahrump, it was like 200 people, which for our town is huge, right? And then I see like their main talking point, which is, oh, well, if there was really a king, you wouldn't be able to be out there. And it's like, that's a stupid talking point. Yeah. So like,
I was humbled. Because there's a lot of us that are very concerned about the direction of where this country is going. And then I went to the protest in Henderson first, and I was blown away. First of all, by how many people were there, by how many respectful, good-hearted, kind people were there. And when I was at with you guys, I was at Colorado State. I met some of my listeners there, and it kind of humbled me. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't think I had this many listeners in Las Vegas. I had somebody, hey, I watch your YouTube. It was just really cool to meet some of the listeners in person. But I was just amazed by how many good people there were there. Just good, decent people that hate where this country is headed. They hate Donald Trump. They don't hate America. There's a big difference.
I think that they love America. That's why they're out there. Did you see Trump's AI video? Yeah,
that was disgusting. For those of you that don't know what he's talking about, it was an AI video of him in a fighter jet. By the way, the guy who dodged the military multiple times, he can't even drive a car, let alone a jet. And then Harry Sisson, he shows a picture of Harry Sisson, video of him at the rally that I believe was at New York City.
New York City, yeah.
And he's dumping crap on these people.
It's just like
you're the president of the United States.
Can you imagine if Obama did that?
Oh my God.
Like he would literally, it would be the biggest news story. We would never stop hearing about it. We'd still be talking about it.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, that AI video was, but it's, it's par for the course for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
First, they said that there were a bunch of old hippies there. Then they said that there were going to be a bunch of terrorists and Hamas members there. Now they're going back to all the old people. It's like they can't make up their mind. Oh, now they're all white. But by the way, it's a complete and total lie. Yeah. I was at a few of these protests, very diverse. It felt like I was at a Kamala Harris rally.
Yeah.
If somebody asked me what was it like, I felt like I was at a Kamala rally. It felt like America to me. Right?
Yeah, that was a weird talking point. That if there's no black people here, why are there no black people? It's like,
by the way, from the party that has less than 1% that represents the Republican Party. Last I checked, black people are around 12 to 13% of the population.
Is
here.
it even that high?
It's somewhere around there, and less than 1% of African Americans represent the Republican Party.
Oh yeah.
But yet they want to say we're not the party of diversity. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand it. It's so ridiculous. So again, we, Z, myself, maybe you can mention some of the other names that are going to be there. Robbie Roadsteamer, who just got arrested. He just did my show.
Yeah.
Robbie just got arrested. It was just such a ridiculous circumstance. I want to know if Robbie is going to have his guitar and wearing his thong. That's what I want to know.
Oh, he will.
Oh, that's
absolutely.
great.
What is he not?
I can't wait. So you're going to get to meet Robbie Roadsteamer singing at UNLV. And of course, Destiny is going to be debating some of the students. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I saw him firsthand in Colorado and his debating skills. He's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very smart and a good dude. So I'm glad that even though we don't agree on everything, I agree on most of what he says. And I would say they treat him on Pierce Morgan far worse than they treat me.
Oh.
I'll say that. They treat him terrible.
Yeah, they don't like him on Pierce. Let's say that.
They keep inviting him back, though.
Yeah, they love the drama.
They keep inviting him back. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on the air or not, but I will anyway. It's not a swear. Don't worry. You don't have to put your. That's not what I meant. I wasn't giving you the warning that I'm going to break FCC violations. There's a chance. Numchuck's got his finger on the button. That I could be debating Nick Fuentes on Friday. So
no way.
There's a chance. So they're working on that. But I will be doing Tim Pool's show in West Virginia on Friday. So that's going to be interesting. And then I got that event in D.C. Hopefully Virginia Tech would be cool if I could go with you guys to. I've never been there before.
It's the best spot for us because obviously Virginia's got these pockets, right? And Virginia Tech really truly is in one of those 50-50, if not stronger red parts of the state.
Yeah,
so
that'd be fun. Yeah, that'd definitely be fun. So as we mentioned, the UNF America Tour is going to be on the UNLV campus. Yours truly, I will be there. I'm the opener, so get there early. 11 a.m. it starts. Goes from 11 a.m. to 2. It's going to be in the outdoor-indoor amphitheater at UNLV, and you'll have an opportunity to debate really anybody you want, but I'll be there. I'll be starting it up. Destiny's going to be there. It's good luck trying to debate him. Does Robbie Roadsteamer do debating? I don't even know.
Not really.
Okay. He's going to be there with his guitar, just singing. I love that. I absolutely love that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and anybody's welcome, right?
Yeah, and we've
age.
got Camp Call Out. That's Mercedes. She'll be there. Kyla will be there. Andrew JD. So there's a lot of influencers. So if you don't feel comfortable debating, you could still come and just.
Mercedes is awesome. I've gotten the chance to get to know her. She is awesome. You have a lot of. And I'm not just saying this because you're here, because I've said this when you're not. You have a lot of really nice people that I've gotten a chance to meet that are part of the UNF America Tour. Really nice, good people that I'm proud to be a part of what you're doing. So, and it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Especially with the midterms right around the corner, and then the 2028 presidential. I mean, I just think it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So you just got to keep doing what you're doing. What do you say we take some phone calls?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get right into the fracas of it all. The number to call, by the way, if you want to be a part of the show, is 702-221-7283. Big shocker. They just suspended me on TikTok again. Those bastards. They just suspended me on TikTok again. I don't know what I said or what Alex Stein said, but apparently they've suspended me again. So I don't know what to. Do you have that problem, by the way?
Yeah. All the time. That's why I
TikTok?
don't even stream on TikTok, because that's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully with the new buyers, whoever it is, that will get better, but who knows? I mean,
who knows? Well, here's the deal. Here's what we've been talking about. We had Alex Stein on the show. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Alex Stein sounded like a moderate Republican. I had Myron Gaines on this show, and he sounded moderate too. I couldn't get him to say anything crazy. I don't know what it is with some of these people. If he come on my show and all of a sudden they're tame, what the hell is going on? Like, I don't get it. I try to get, and Alex, I'm like, Alex, you don't think everybody, that goes to these rallies is stupid, right? And he used some other terms, and he's like, no, I don't believe that. I think there's a lot of people out there like you. They're smart. But I'm like, why are you kissing my ass? I'm trying to get you on the show to get into a debate with you.
Yeah.
I hope I get like the more aggressive Alex Stein in DC when I see him out there. But he was very kind. That actually took me by surprise a little bit.
He knows that he's not in his friendly element here.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
When you're in his backyard, it might be different.
That's fine. I welcome that. I want that. All right, number to call, 702-221-7283. We got Zico and Sanchez in studio. She is the founder of the UNF America Tour, a stop that is at UNLV, which I'm so proud to be a part of, Wednesday at 11 a.m. at the amphitheater. It's free. Come out, check it out. You'll have a chance to debate me and others with like Destiny and others. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, who are we going to first here? Let's start off with Steven. Steven is first up on PTL. Hey, Steven, what's going on?
Hello, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
What Z mentioned about Donald Trump's AI video, that's just sickening. But that is probably his most honest video. He sits on the American. Oh, I'm sorry, my dog needs to go outside. He sits on the American.
Make sure Christy Noam isn't in your backyard. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. And, yeah, hope she's not. But he sits on the American people, and that is the exact. And it's a disgusting video. I never thought 20 years ago we would have something like this in America. And then another thing I want to touch on is it wasn't just liberals out there at the protests on Saturday. My 71-year-old mom, who's a conservative Republican, was out at the protest because she cannot believe what is happening to this country right now with Trump and the spineless Republicans not being able to defend our country because they're afraid of him.
Right.
So, but before I go, one last thing. Maybe I'm the pessimist, but I don't see things improving because the Republicans will stop at nothing to win. And I think 2026 will be, I hate to say it, will be rigged, and they will stop at nothing.
I hope not. Where do you live, by the way, sir, before I let you go? Where do you live?
In the Chicago area.
Okay. Well, Z,
So,
hopefully we can make a stop in Chicago one of these days. That'd
That'd be
good.
fun.
Yeah, and you got to come
please,
out, all right?
please.
Do I have your word?
I buy you a pizza.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you.
now we're definitely going.
Yeah.
Thank you for the call, Stephen. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very much. 702-221-7283. Jason is next. What's up, Jason?
Man, it was awesome. I loved it. The Kings rally was tremendous. I went downtown. I must have missed you. But then I went to the 4 o'clock one at New York, and we had a ball. Only thing that I didn't like is that the security guards and the cops, I know they were following the higher-ups, but, man, I was like, yo, if the country fall like into Trump's hands, y'all going to be whining that y'all didn't join the parade or the rally.
That's true.
But
Jason, may I ask, will you be at the Un-F America Tour Wednesday?
No, I work. You should know that.
Come on. What we're doing is more important than your job. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Well, take a sick day, man. Take a sick day.
I like to pay bills. Call me crazy.
Sick day.
Paying,
2 words. Sick day.
My rent is
Sick day. Sick day. Take a sick day.
But I had a ball, man. It was amazing. I loved it, and it showed that America is not going to lay down. So
I agree.
Like we were chanting, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go.
I could sing that all day long. Jason, I appreciate your call, my friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Right.
Thank you. All right. If you have a question, by the way, for Z as well, she's the founder of the Un-F America Tour. We're going to be at UNLV on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Let's go to Casey. Casey is next up on PTL. Hey, Casey, what's going on, man?
Hey, Brian. Hope everything's well. You made some comments about the girl making the Charlie Kirk sign with a pointing a gun to his neck and other stuff, and how MAGA clutches their pearls. I look at it this way, they want, especially if you're black, because remember when Colin Kaepernick took the knee, they were losing their, that's un-American, all this other stuff. It's like, why are us liberals held to a different standard?
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
They want to be, like Rush Limbaugh was the early years of MAGA, right? I mean, he was basically using Puff the Magic Negro on his podcast, on his radio show, and he used dog whistles. Now MAGA doesn't even use the dog whistles; they blatantly use the N-word. Now you do have some conservatives that.
Let me ask Z that. Hang on the line for a second. I want to ask Z that. Z, do you agree with him that it seems like there's a double standard when it comes to liberals and the MAGA right when it comes to this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I actually just made a video about this, I think on Friday, because of the whole Pierce Destiny thing, right? Like where Pierce was basically telling him, denounce the violence. And Destiny was like, we've been doing this for the past 15 years. You guys never denounce the violence. The president of the United States never denounces it. Mm-hmm. And he still has it to this day. So
that's another thing too. Yeah. Everybody on the right, most people are, oh, well, they're excited and they're celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And then when I say, can you name me one prominent Democrat that is doing that? They can't name one.
They can't.
Go ahead, sir. Casey, go ahead.
So, I mean, this thing with, okay, when you do hold them accountable, especially this group chat they had dropping the gas chambers, all those stuff, when you checkmate them, and put them in their place with whether they're saying the N-word or playing racism, misogyny, you are woke. Why do you have to be politically correct? It's like, I honestly think that Trump has given them more than oxygen. He's given them the biggest platform ever to spew their hate and stuff. They're never going to give that up. I don't think I don't think we have normalized, not us liberals, but this country has normalized his behavior, conservatives' behavior with their blatant racism. I don't think there's putting toothpaste back in the tube. I think he has shown what America truly is, and unfortunately, we are a racist country. We profited off racism. We have. I mean, it was founded on racism. I don't know if you agree, but I don't think we'll ever see yesteryear ever again.
Oh, I hope that's not the case. I think we've taken definitely a few steps back in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, I mean, like Adam Mockler asked the head of Turning Point USA if he would denounce that group chat, and he said, well, we can talk about it. You're being very aggressive. That's what he said.
That was a great moment and I think that Adam does a great job. He does this show all the time, and I've had Adam on this show for years, and I knew that he would be a rising star, and he does a great job. But yeah, how despicable is that? That's the difference. I think the fundamental difference right now between most Democrats and Republicans, where if a Democrat does something terrible or says something terrible, everybody in the party demands an apology. Like, for example, Ilhan Omar, when she said it's all about the Benjamins, which you could consider to be a Jewish trope. You could.
Yeah.
All the Democrats were demanding and she apologized.
Yeah.
But yet when somebody does it on the right, all they do is make excuses. Look at the shiny object. Listen, I wouldn't use my hands as a symbol of putting a gun to my neck. And I would imagine she's talking about what happened to Charlie Kirk. It's not something that I would do, but guess what? She didn't beat a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't talking about hanging the vice president. She wasn't storming a Capitol. Guess what? She wasn't breaking the law. Now, if you're a public figure or a teacher and you represent a company and you're doing that, you probably should think twice before you do something like that. Do I think she deserves to be fired, especially if she's never committed a crime in her life? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I wouldn't do it, but I don't. But yet, when Donald Trump talks about, I'd love to rough that guy up. Hey, rough him up and I'll pay your legal fees. Republicans don't seem to have a problem with that.
Yeah.
It's like they all have Alzheimer's, you know, it's like, it's crazy. But, oh yeah, another thing. That was one person that made a hand gesture, didn't break the law. But yet, these were violent protests, the violent left. There were 7 million people out there. I didn't see one person get arrested for violence on the left. 20 people got arrested from the right.
Yeah.
They were agitators.
Yeah.
It's just insane. 702-221-7283. Michael's next. Hey, Michael, what's going on?
Doing good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Go right ahead.
Okay, so I attended my first No Kings protest on Saturday, and it was absolutely amazing. I was just so impressed with the amount of people that turned out, and there were so many incredible people, and I even exchanged numbers with this one college student, and I was just emotional. I was just so impressed with everyone who showed up, and it gave me a lot of hope that there is a light at the end of this darkness. And it was peaceful for the most part, so I had a really wonderful time. And
good.
I just got emotional. I didn't have any words really.
I kind of got that from my experience as well. The first thing that I felt was like a sense of hope.
Yeah.
That we're in this town, Henderson, right, which is about 15, 20 minutes from the Strip, and I went to that rally, not expecting a lot of people. There were thousands of people there, good people, families, nice people with their kids. Sure, you could find a few signs that might have been a little bit borderline rated R, but for the most part, these were good people that care about our country, that love our country, that hate what Donald Trump is doing. They weren't paid by George Soros. They weren't paid by anybody. I'm waiting for my $5 check from George Soros. I guess it's coming. Just like that $5,000 Doge check is coming. No, but I got what you got, caller. I got, a sense of hope. And I was a sense of pride that there were so many good people here and across the country that came out and protested peacefully. And that it made me feel really good that we still have a chance. That's what it made me feel.
I think that this was oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say that when I was there, I saw this one guy in his car. He was like giving us the finger and putting his thumbs down, and I didn't say anything to him. But in my head, I'm like, well, why don't you pull over and park somewhere and come down here and not be a coward and say we have to stay in our faces instead of flipping us off and saying all kinds of disparaging things. But they won't do that because they're cowards.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't know if anybody thinks I was a little bit too aggressive with that Trumper in Henderson. We played the video to start the show, but you got an idiot out there that says Joe Biden is a pedophile, then okay. You're going to call Joe Biden a pedophile? I'm going to call your hero, Charlie Kirk, a piece of garbage. What do you think about that? And then what do? They resort to violence, and the guy drops his sign and starts chasing me. But, and his wife was...
Well, I mean, that's all they...
His wife was dumber than him, by the way.
It's just violence.
It's like the guy at CSU, too.
Yeah. There's just these people, they're so dumb. They show up at these rallies, right? And they hold up their stupid sign. I think the sign that this guy was holding up was Trump is king or some stupid. By the way, the only king is Elvis Presley. And they have no arguments. And I said, you support a rapist. That's what I said. I said it over and over again. You support a rapist. And then, I saw the Charlie Kirk shirt that I was wearing, and I knew it. You say anything negative about Charlie Kirk, they lose it. Yeah. They just lose it. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I'm not celebrating what happened to him, but I'm certainly not going to celebrate his life. Yeah. And I don't care how close you were to him. I don't care. I don't care if you were friends with him. I don't care. I care that he was murdered. It's horrible, but I'm not going to sit here and praise this guy. Medal of Freedom, Medal of Racism is what he deserves. That's the medal that I would give to him. I don't know. Yeah. That's just me. Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you had a good experience. Yeah. Glad you had a good experience out there. There are a lot of people. This was their first protest.
Yeah,
it's funny. That guy didn't sound like he was 80 years old.
No,
interesting.
He sounded like he was a teenager. But was this the biggest protest in American history?
From what I understand, this was the biggest mass protest, not in one place, but throughout the country.
Throughout the country, yeah.
In American history. And then the argument I hear from these MAGA morons is, oh, well, we had 71 million people. That was our protest that voted for Donald Trump, which has nothing to do with It's like you can't even have a conversation with these people. It's crazy. 702-221-SAVE, 702-221-7283. Again, Zico and Sanchez, the founder of the NF America Tour, is in studio. We got an event that's going to be a lot of fun that I'm looking forward to with Robbie Roadsteamer. How could it not be fun? 11 a.m. at UNLV in the amphitheater. It's free. So no excuses, unless you're working, unless you're Jason and you have a lame excuse like you have a job. Let's go to Brett. Brett is next on PTL. What's up, Brett?
Hey, what's going on, Brian?
What's
How
up?
are you?
Good.
Hey, I was very proud and happy to see the people all turn up in the No Kings rally, and I just don't know what the consequence of it all is. What is it going to do for us, for the country? Because you had a caller previously said that they're going to stop at nothing to win the midterms, to cheat, to rig the midterms, and I agree. I mean, we need to get more aggressive, and I'm not saying in a violent way, but if we don't do something, nothing's going to change. The No Kings protest is a nice spectacle, and it's good for optics, but what does it actually do to accomplish anything?
Actually, I have an answer for this, because I actually just did a video on this. So there's a book called Why Resistance Matters. I could be wrong about that. Mm-hmm. And what they look at is how the civil rights movement became, as successful as it was, same with the Arab Spring. And they look at these movements over time. And typically we know about the 3.5% rule, right? So they say that if you have at least 3.5% of the population that rise up, that means that you have the best chance of, progressing politically or putting in enough pressure politically to change things. But when people think about the 3.5%, which I actually think maybe the No Kings protest was actually the first time we actually did have 3.5% of the population show up on one day. But what we're looking at is progress over time. So with, for example, the civil rights movement, it wasn't actually the March on Washington that was like the deciding factor of anything. There was only about 1.3% or something. It was very low. But what did actually change things was like the boycott, the Montgomery bus boycott, and those different activities that ended up accumulating and then pushing that progress. So the No Kings protest is actually super effective because we have such high numbers, and we just need to meet that with the other pieces.
Well, yeah, sounds good, and I'm going to actually read that book and check it out. But because I don't believe that the Republicans are going to stop, and I don't see enough in the media, like the normalization you guys talk about that that everybody's doing as far as Trump. I mean, can you imagine if Obama did one of these things, any of it? put the National Guard in the city, I mean, it would be on Fox on a loop 24/7. There would be no stopping it. And you know, and the stupidity of what he says and the lies, it's just not enough. None of it's enough for me.
I understand.
And
yeah,
you know,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I do agree with Z to the extent of I do think when you get all these people out here that are protesting peacefully, it gives people, even in the media, they're forced to cover it.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. Number two, it gets under Donald Trump's skin. Anything that gets under Donald Trump's skin, I'm all for, as long as it's legal. And it organizes people. It brings people together to realize you're not alone. There's a lot of other people that feel the same way that you feel. It's a sense of camaraderie and hope. And I think it helps people mentally to be around others that you know, believe what they believe, that Donald Trump is ruining this country.
Yeah. And also that's actually a big part of the book is it has to be peaceful for it to be effective.
Absolutely.
It can't be violent. Yeah.
There was a radio host in Henderson that tried to agitate a Trump supporter, but other than that, I think everything went great. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Brian. I like the name. Brian is next on PTL. What's up, Brian?
Hello, Brian. How you doing?
Good.
Today? I'm just here. It's my off day. I'm not driving or transporting anything today. Hello, Z. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, listen, Brian. This may be a bit of an unpopular opinion, but the people have to know. You know, I'm pretty sure you saw some black people.
Absolutely.
That were in these protests.
I didn't see some. I saw plenty. You saw a
lot?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah. Downtown. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because me, it's just, you know, what we're being directed or told is that, you know, they're saying this is not our fight, but I don't necessarily agree with that. But what I will say is that, you know, a lot of people, you know, talk about, you know, coming together and, you know what I'm saying, we gotta stand tall and, you know, this, that, and the third. But the time to come together for me was November 5th, 2024. That's when I decided to put I don't know, how do they say it, where the concrete meets the road or something like that. That was a time for me to tell and have my voice being heard that I'm not voting for this clown. I don't respect him, his ilk, or anything that has to go with that. And all he's doing is just waiting on some black people in large numbers so he can start bringing out what he's already doing with the military,
right? And
then turn up martial law. That's just my opinion. I'm protesting with my wallet. If these companies and these businesses don't support DEI and they don't support, you know, black people and what black people want and what black people need, I'm not going to support them at all.
Well, I think that's certainly
protest. I'm not doing any of that.
It's your choice to do that. I think there are plenty of things you can do, and that's one of them. I was talking to Zia a little bit about this off the air, and that, you know, when I went to these rallies or protests, for lack of a better term, it felt like a Kamala Harris rally, and it felt like America. It was very diverse. It wasn't I'm going to say it again. These Trump rallies are clan cults. That's what it was. I'm sorry. That's what it was. That's the feeling I got. And I'm sorry to say this. When I was with the UNF America tour on the Colorado State campus, and this was like literally days after Charlie Kirk was murdered, that vigil to me felt like a Klan rally. I'm sorry. I know there were a lot of people there that were grieving. I get it. I'm not saying everybody that went there were bad. I'm just, you want to talk about white. That was white. Okay. Not these protests. I'm telling you right now, the diversity that I saw, particularly in the protest I went to downtown, was one of the most diverse protests I've ever seen. It felt like a Kamala Harris rally.
Yeah.
It felt like America. That's what it felt like to me.
For me, Brian, I mean, and listen, you already know I agree with everything that, you know, I fully support your show, Z. I support everything that y'all do. It's just that with this, you know, anything that's happened in American history that has to do with an oppressed people or a group of people that's been overlooked or not treated right, whether it be gay people, whether it be women, whether it be disabled, whether it be Jews, whoever, black people have always been in the forefront. Have always taken the lead to stand up for these other oppressed peoples. And now I just can't help but wonder, all of these No Kings protesters that we see out there, how many of them stayed at home November 5th? Or How many of them voted for?
Well, let's
for the
hope.
idiot
Well,
in the
Brian,
White House?
here's the good news. I have a feeling a lot of those people are not going to stay home this next go around, and I appreciate your phone call, Brian. It's good to hear from you. Would you agree with that? I think there are a lot of people that realize that they made a mistake.
Yeah, definitely. Especially those people that were third-party voters. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that these protests are important. I'm not saying that we should do them every week because I don't think you're going to get the big enough turnouts. But I think once a month.
Yeah.
Maybe do these once a month until the orange turd leaves office. I mean, I don't know. That's what I think. And I think that the crowds will continue to grow.
Yeah, it's got to be paired with the other pieces too, like the boycotting of, places like Home Depot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That are allowing these ICE agents to go just like rally people up in front of their stores. It has to be paired with the voter registration efforts and with the electoral organizing, and then it could be successful.
And I got to say, I'm not saying every single one of these ICE agents are cowards, but a lot of them are.
Yeah.
They wear these face coverings and they say, well, because we're protecting ourselves. Police officers don't wear those. They wear these face coverings. Some of them don't even identify themselves because I don't even think some of these people have law enforcement experience. And like I see what happened to Robbie Roadsteamer, for example, where the guy is singing in a giraffe outfit, okay? And what are they saying? He crossed a line or something, and they're shooting paintballs at him, or whatever. What do they call those things? Not paintballs, pepper balls. And it takes 5. And look at the way they arrested him too. It's not like they came up to him and said, "Hey, put your hands behind your back," like a normal officer would do. It took 4 or 5 of them to turn his little speaker off and arrest him. I mean, they look so pathetic and it's embarrassing. A guy dressed up in a thong and a giraffe outfit singing songs and it takes 5 guys. It's like, I don't know. I just thought it's such a bad look. And I think so many of these ICE agents across the country are nothing but cowards who maybe didn't get enough attention when they were kids and maybe never got laid. And now they want a sense of power. Like, I don't know.
Did you see this DUI video?
No, what was that?
Oh, so an ICE agent gets pulled over with his kid.
Oh, I did.
You saw that,
he was drunk.
Yeah. He was fully drunk, and then he thought he was gonna deport the Haitian officer.
Where are you from? Are you Haitian? And then the other officer's like, that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah,
right?
what is that?
What a self-entitled prick that guy. I saw that video.
And then crying about, I can't be separated from my family. Oh, cry me a river.
Yeah, please. That's what you guys are doing to all these families in this country that have never, so many of them not convicted of a violent or even charged with a violent crime in their life. You're separating all these families. Yeah, now you know how it feels, you scumbag. The only difference is you committed a felony and they didn't. Yeah. That's the difference. You jackass. You care about your kids, yet you're driving drunk, putting your kids and everybody else at risk. And he wants to say, what a sense of entitlement these bastards are.
Me off
I saw that video too, and I was like, you SOB.
Yeah.
That really ticked me off. All right, number to call 702-221-7283, 702-221-SAVE. Let's go to Pez. Pez is next up on PTL. What's up, Pez?
My usual call-in, Brian. Hey, Z. Thanks for making the show.
Thanks.
I usually call in and do empirical fact checks, but I'm going to make an observation right now. And so since you've shown up on the show, I can say truthfully and honestly that we have not only smarter girls, but certainly better looking ones. So,
well, thank you. I thought you were talking about me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I got your back. It's so good not to see someone with Mar-a-Lago face. But I wanted to interject also and say, if you didn't think that you had proof that he was an asset of Russia, you saw the conversation about the missiles. Yeah, we're going to give him tomahawks. But then he had to go talk to his handler. And after he spoke to his handler, he said that he would be upset if he did that. So
did you see behind closed doors the reports that he was swearing at Zelensky and that he was demanding that Zelensky honor Putin's what Putin wants to end the war? Did you hear all those reports? And nobody in Ukraine is denying that he was yelling and swearing at Zelensky and saying that Russia's going to destroy you if you don't agree to Vladimir Putin's demands, which, by the way, I 150% believe that happened.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably going to hear also that it was reported that he physically put his hands on Zelensky, and he's asking for Zelensky to give up the Donbass, which is not going to happen. But I think that flew under the radar with the protests, or I should say the intellectual gathering of sane people that happened around the country. Anything's a diversion from the Epstein files, as you know, just like the shutdown is.
Yeah.
But I just found it rather odd that there was not more comments about the fact that he had to ask permission from Putin to sell missiles to Ukraine. I just thought that was crazy.
It is crazy. We're living in crazy times right now. Leonard's going to be very angry at me if I don't announce this, so I'm going to have to announce. While I'm doing the UNLV Un-F America tour, and I'm honored to do it with Z, Leonard's going to be filling in for me on Wednesday. He's also going to be in studio tomorrow, and I'm going to break some news because I haven't even asked Leonard, but hopefully he'll say yes. I'm flying out to do Tim Pool's podcast on Thursday, so Friday, Leonard, I need you in studio, okay? There you go. Leonard, I need you to host for me in studio on Friday, so hopefully Leonard agrees to do that. Otherwise, I don't know. I might have to ask Z to do it, which would be fine, or somebody else. But anyway, 702. Maybe we could get Destiny in here. No, he's not going to do it. So he's got his own show to do. Let's go to Amy. Amy's next on PTL. What's up, Amy?
Hello, how you doing? First, I just want to tell you, Brian, I usually agree with you.
I won't call you any names, I promise.
That's okay. It's nothing major. I did go to No Kings in Philly. It was awesome.
Yep.
Second one I went to. However, I don't agree with this Alex guy saying he's a moderate Republican. Okay?
Here's what I said, though. Hold on. I said he sounded like one on my show.
But he didn't to me. Let me just tell you.
Okay.
I'll just tell you real quick. There's three instances. First off, he was mega conspiracy theory, and I was surprised you didn't come back at him about the FBI agents.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I could have said to that. It doesn't matter if there were 5,000 FBI agents. So what? It doesn't mean that anybody was coerced into doing what they did. But here's the thing. I have 10 minutes with him. I could have gone down a rabbit. And guess what? I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into that with him in D.C. because we'll have 2 hours.
Yeah. I go to D.C. all the time. It's only 2.5 hours from Philly.
Yeah.
So I'm
the reason why I brought up January 6th is because it totally goes against what they say. The left is violent. The left is this. Well, we had 7 million Americans that weren't arrested, that weren't breaking any laws yesterday. What happened on January 6th again? And their defense is, well, there were FBI agents there. Obviously, that's not a defense.
But they came out after the riots, and Cash Patel even admitted that.
It doesn't even matter if they came there before the riots. It still doesn't excuse the behavior.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just wanted to reach through, and then he was saying he got a feeling at the No Kings that there was all this anxiety inside of everyone. I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either. But when you call people retards to their faces, usually that's not going to calm things down. You know what I mean? So that's what he did, and then he kind of backtracked out on the show. But
I just felt it when he was talking. I felt he was just this awful person, and like some of his comments. And real quick, I called you before, like a few times. I called in, and you said, "Oh, call back." I haven't. I just want to stress to people to call the Republicans in Congress. I call Megan Johnson all the time. I tell him, stop acting like a Christian. You're not a Christian with your lies. People, by complaining online, does nothing. They have to.
I agree. No, I don't disagree with you at all. One bit. I'm gonna have to give Minnie Johnson a call as well. That's what I call him, Minnie Johnson. But no, I agree. I did try to give Lauren Boebert a call because I wanted to take her out to Beetlejuice, but she has not returned my call. You know, she hasn't returned my. I heard that on first dates. You know, it's a good time with her. That's what I heard. I'll leave that one alone. 702. Well, that's Kid Rock. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. Let's go to Ken. Ken is next on PTL. What's up, Ken?
Hey, appreciate it.
Yep. What's on your mind, Ken?
Oh, am I speaking to Brian?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, hey, man, I read across your I guess podcast or whatever it is.
It's a little podcast. Yeah, it's a little podcast.
To school, and man, I love you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm a 60-year-old black man, both Democrat, born and raised in Texas, but moved to California when we were 6 years old. My mother wanted a better life instead of the country life my dad led. And from the clans to the whole 9 yards, we experienced it growing up. My point in calling is, first of all, as these blacks say, keep it 100, man. You're one of the best. 2 weeks now, I'm going to always listen to you.
Well, your $5,000 dose check is in the mail, my friend. Thank you.
Anyway, man, you keep it straight across the board. You're not afraid to say what's on your mind. You call everybody out. And as we say, you're the pillar or the main beam that keeps everything rock steady, man. Anyway, why is it, two-part question, why is it that Trump is able to just get away with anything and everything he wants to get away with.
I'll let Z answer that
I've
one.
never seen that in all the years of my life.
Z, why does Donald Trump get away? Why is he orange Teflon boy?
I mean, a multitude of reasons, but essentially, I was actually talking to somebody about this morning because they were complaining again about the Democratic Party. And I was like, MAGA has been so successful at taking over the Republican Party. Like, these people are nobody, right? Like, 10 years ago, if you said that anything that Trump says, people would be like, we're not going to have that in American politics. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
They've normalized it because they've organized really well. So that's, I mean, and the obvious facts of, you know, he's a wealthy white guy who has been a chronic liar his entire life and has gotten away with that.
But don't we have checks and excuse me for saying, but don't we have checks and balances in play?
There can't be checks and balances once you've taken over the party because you are the checks and balances, right?
And when the Supreme Court says you have immunity, there's not much of a check and balance. I mean, listen to what Pete Hegseth, he doesn't want the media covering anything that happens at the Pentagon. I mean, it's insanity.
Right, I saw that.
Even Newsmax wouldn't sign off on that. Even Fox News wouldn't sign off on that. This is an oligarchy and a dictatorship, and they prove it every single day. They shoot and murder people in the ocean, claiming that they're drug dealers, and we don't even know if there were kids on those boats. We don't even know the names. They're not releasing anything, and they're defending it.
Boats or what?
That's a war crime. In any other country, that'd be a war crime, but yet they think it's okay to do that. Listen, I don't want drug dealers smuggling stuff in, but if you're a drug dealer, that doesn't mean we can just execute you. Can't do that either.
Sure,
it's just insane.
As far as speaking about, but as far as speaking about this next term, the Nobel Peace Prize, which is what as you said a few days ago, was the accomplishments that you did before the vote or the year. So that's out the door. They could just see that he's so full of hate and racism and bigotry that he's just how can I say, he's not worthy of it. Now, so someone else could get on and take up some of your great time here. One more question. And why is it that the media, now I grew up with Walter Cronkite and all the other guys who were just solid news guys. Why is it today that this ethical thing that the morals that the news journalists say they have about telling the truth, why is all news broadcasting from radio to TV, they're afraid to speak up and say the truth?
Well, I think that's a good question.
Or fib a fib.
It's a good question. I think there are multiple reasons for that. Number one, they're afraid of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the right-wing entities like Newsmax and, OAN and Fox News, but I think that some of these other entities are afraid because they don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
And if they do get sued, they just want to settle out of court. So I think that's a part of it. I think the Bill Maher's of the world, who I am extremely disappointed in, who I've always considered to be not the nicest guy in the world to talk to. I've met him a couple times, very snotty guy, but very intelligent. And I believe he knows some of the stuff he's saying is BS, but he does it because he wants to appeal to the other side so he can get more listeners and ratings, and he doesn't want to just tune out one side of the aisle. I think there are people like that also.
Yeah.
The Joe Scarboroughs of the world who have, played nice with Donald Trump. So I think there's multiple different reasons. I think money being one issue, ratings, clicks. That's why I appreciate Jimmy Kimmel so much, because he hasn't wavered at all.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. And like Sinclair, right? They own, like 80% of the media. It's tough. You got to fight against money, and you got to fight against not being thrown under the bus like ABC. And
you're not getting any big donors sending you money that are Trump supporters either. So you know a thing or two. And and by the way, now that we bring that up, how can people donate to the Un-F America Tour? Where do they go?
So they have to go to unfamericatour.com, fully spelled
Spell
out.
out the word. We can't say it here.
Spell it out. Or you can go to our website, which we just relaunched, National Ground Game. So if you're more interested in funding the tour aspect of it, go to the Un-F America Tour. But if you're interested in funding the voter registration efforts, go to National Ground Game.
Gotcha. Okay, so I highly recommend everybody do that. 702-221-7283 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the program. Let's go to Gabe. Gabe is next up on PTL. What's up, Gabe?
Hey, how are you?
Good. What's on your mind?
So the thing that is on my mind is Seth Moulton, who is the congressman who is running against Ann Markey. He basically said, this happened last week ago, that he's returning all AIPAC money and he's not going to take any money from AIPAC. So I think that this is a huge sea change in regards to in regards to the Democrats finally waking up and saying, I'm not going to take AIPAC money.
So Gabe, let me tell you, Gabe, I'm glad you brought this up. Z, I don't know, are you familiar with Seth Moulton?
I'm not.
Okay, so Congressman Seth Moulton out of Massachusetts, he ran for president back in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, and he came in studio when I was doing a show at another station, and I was so impressed by him. He served this country honorably. He also ran to try to take Nancy Pelosi's job. He's a brave person who I think won the Purple Heart, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that, but I know he won some pretty prestigious awards. And he's not taking the AIPAC money, and he seems to be always on the right side of history, says all the right things. And I've always said that Seth Moulton would be a great president one day. I don't know if he'll ever get to that point. He ran for president, but I think we need more people like Seth. I think Seth is a very brave man, a very intelligent man, and a man of decency and character. And I love Seth. He's one of my favorite Democrats out there right now. He really is.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
In regards to the 2028 Democrat primary, whoever says if F Israel, and whoever says I will go after sanctions with Bibi Netanyahu and go after them, they will, whoever is anti-Israel, and because the Democratic base understands that they're against what's going on in Israel. So like I said, whoever the 2028 Democrat who says I'm against Israel and I'm not gonna send any money to them will probably win the Democratic primary.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, my friend. I really do appreciate the call. By the way, the MAGAs out there are scared sometimes. They're scared. You know why? Some of them are scared to call in for certain reasons, but I'm sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yesterday was a success for the Democratic Party. I'm sorry, it was. It was a success for anybody that is anti-Donald Trump. First of all, they were peaceful. There were enormous crowds out there. Enormous. The message was sent. And the MAGA Republican outrage, it went from this is Hamas and these are terrorists and they're violent. You can't really say that anymore. And now that's gone to one person who did this, did a gun movement with her hand, which I don't condone, by the way. But she didn't break the law. Now they're painting all leftists as doing that. And now it's gone from when J.D. Vance said a few months ago, oh, these people, they're old hippies and they don't have a life, to these are Hamas terrorists and they're violent. And now they're going back to, oh, well, they were all old white people. I mean, their arguments are so pathetic.
Aren't old white people their base?
Yeah, I thought so, right? Middle-aged, crusty white people.
Right?
Yeah. That's what I thought. Don't get me wrong. I mean, January 6th, they were all diverse crowd. Very diverse.
Yeah, very diverse.
Yeah. They weren't all just white nationalists and white supremacists. They were all very diverse crowds at Donald Trump's. Have you ever been to a Donald Trump rally, by the way?
Yeah, of course. And
I'm sorry, it feels like a Klan rally. It really
does. Yeah, I didn't see one single person of color at the CSU vigil for Charlie.
Not even orange.
Like literally not one, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, when I went, I'm not kidding. When I went to these rallies yesterday, it felt like I was at a Kamala Harris rally. And after the Kamala Harris rallies, I said to myself, this is what America feels like. A bunch of diverse people that speak all sorts of different languages, that are very kind. It had a feeling of not even safety as much as just love. Like, hey, we're all in this together. We're all Americans. We all should be treated equally. It was like that sort of feeling. And it was very, I mean, I remember there was a moment where I was kind of walking on the road. I was trying not to, but I was trying to take video. And I had like, hey, be careful. We don't want you to get hurt. Be careful. You know, go on the side because we don't, you know, it's just caring people.
Yeah.
You go to a Trump rally, you think they care?
No.
You think they would talk to you like that? They don't care. They'll throw you in the street. They don't care.
Exactly.
I mean, like, what do you make of the fact that, before we get back to the calls at 702-221-7283, the fact that they're taking one or two people, a woman that made a hand gesture, which last I checked, by the way, is not against the law. You might not agree with it. I don't agree with it. It's not against the law. And they're painting that picture of 7 million people because one woman made a borderline inappropriate hand gesture.
Well, they also like what's been interesting is the social media response to that, because if you scroll on TikTok and you look specifically at that case, they hate teachers so much. Like they're like, oh, of course she's a teacher. And it doesn't even make sense to me how, and Charlie did this too, I'll admit it, right? Like he had the professor watch list where he targeted teachers and he legally doxed them. And I just don't understand this disdain for teachers.
They're indoctrinating our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Charlie Kirk wasn't indoctrinating people, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah.
Give me a break. 300,000 teachers across the country. How many teachers are indoctrinating our kids? As if saying being gay is okay or being trans is okay. Like somehow that's indoctrination. Now, if you have a teacher that says Donald Trump is a rapist and you better vote for a Democrat, okay, that would be inappropriate. How many teachers are actually doing that?
No.
I mean, give me a break. Maybe maximum a handful out of 300,000 teachers. No, because teachers aren't indoctrinating. And this is something else that drives me nuts when they say they tried to kill Charlie Kirk. They tried to take out Donald Trump. No, they didn't.
No.
A 22-year-old deranged individual killed Charlie Kirk. Okay. A guy who voted for Donald Trump, a 22-year-old who was a registered Republican, tried to kill Donald Trump. And then the second guy who tried to kill Donald Trump voted for him back in 2016.
Yeah.
When did they say Eric Trump and these morons? They tried to kill my father. Well, who's they?
Yeah.
A couple Republicans?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, why don't people press them on that? I don't get it, man.
Because they think it's a mental health issue. But if it was a mental health issue, then why aren't Republicans doing anything to change that? I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. I completely agree with you. We'll talk to Minnie Johnson about that and see what he has to say. 702-221-7283. Let's go to Johnson. Miss Johnson is next up on PTO. Hello, Miss Johnson.
Hey, Brian.
Hi.
Love you.
No relation to Mike. No relation to Mike Johnson. Right?
No, none.
Good.
Z, I love you. I love to see you sitting next to him with no one else.
Thank you.
I love you here.
She's a married lady. Don't make her throw up. Don't make her throw up.
But anyway, Brian, I was so proud of you. I was so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I really was. And when you were shooting the breeze with the guy, I was yelling, "Don't talk to my husband like that."
Well, you know, I got a little bit of pushback.
Have to come and touch him.
I got a little bit of pushback, and I was called an agitator. Well, let me be very clear. If somebody has a different opinion, I'm more than willing to have a discussion with them, and I wanted to have a respectful discussion with him. But the second he said Joe Biden was a pedophile, I said, okay, well, this is going to go south. There's really no point in having an intellectual conversation with him, so I'm just going to, call out his boyfriend Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to call out his rapist friend Donald Trump, and that's what I did, and he didn't like it, and he dropped his sign and he darted at me. So I mean, if people want to call me an agitator, they could do that if they want to. I really don't care.
I was there, and I was about to help.
Oh, you were there. Why didn't you say hello if you were there?
Because I was yelling, "Don't talk to my husband like that."
So you were in Henderson. Well, that's nice. Are you going to be at the UNLV NF America event Wednesday?
No, and I've been saying I'm going to send you something by email, and I will do it. I've just been so busy. I'm going to send you an email tonight.
Okay. Well, you do that, and you give me your excuse, and I'll see if I'll sign off on it. Okay.
Okay, honey. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you very much. Before I promote this event a little bit more with Z, which I would like to do, I talk a lot about healthcare on this show, and Medicare annual enrollment just started on October 15th, and it goes through December 7th. Seniors are getting bombarded with mailers, right? But I am so happy to be teamed up with my trusted partner, Chapter. What they give you is free and unbiased Medicare help. If they think you're on the right plan, they'll tell you to stay on your plan. But on average, Chapter saves people up to $1,100 a year, which is pretty incredible. So you see that number on the bottom of your screen, which is 212-461-4078. Give them a call, and it is completely free. Or you can go to that link you see there on the bottom, which is askchapter.org/limits. Don't wait till the last minute. It'll only take you about 20 minutes or so. It's free information, and they will do everything they can to help you. Check them out, my trusted partner, Chapter. All right, so Z, we got this event, and this is the main reason why I wanted you in here on Wednesday. For those of you, again, that are unaware, Z is the founder of the UNF America Tour. We've got some great people. I can't wait to meet Robbie Roadsteamer in person, by the way. I don't know if he's going to be Gary the Guantanamo Gator or a giraffe. Has he said like what he's going to be wearing?
No, he hasn't. It's a mystery.
He's always got all these new songs coming up, you know, and I love the Mad World song he did about ICE, and that was when he was like arrested. But anyway,
that was the arrested
yes,
song.
yes. Robbie is, you know, it's so weird because I talk to Robbie on the phone sometimes, and he's like, you know, sounds completely different. He sounds, and he's like a really well-spoken, smart guy. And then when I see Robbie and his character, I'm like, it's wild, but
So, yeah.
he's really a smart guy. But Robbie's going to be there, right?
Yep.
Give me the rundown of the people that, including Destiny, who I know a lot of people are going to want to debate him, and just give me the information on what time it is, how people get involved, and where do they go?
Yeah, so we're going to have, everybody knows Destiny already. Robbie, we'll have Mercedes there. Mercedes is actually extremely famous. I did not know this until we were in Atlanta.
She's got millions of followers.
For the Pride Parade. Yeah. That girl did not, like, we went into like random restaurants with like 3 people and they were like getting pictures of her. It was actually insane. I know Pride is probably, you know, a place where
she's
she would
awesome.
have a lot of,
she's very nice,
support.
Very friendly. And she's a Republican too.
Yeah,
which is wild.
She's
anti-Trump though.
She's one of those, I think, the, you know, Connor from Counterpoints is this, but I call them the bulwark crowd. I don't even like to say never Trump Republican because it's like
I'm getting a little frustrated with Tim with the bulwark though.
Oh really?
I'm getting a little I didn't
Why
like the way he treated my friend on Pierce. What's his name? Wajahat Ali. Yeah, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I liked him. I think he's very smart, but sometimes
I don't know. Is Tim actually a never Trump Republican, or does he just work for the bulwark?
He's a never Trumper. I mean, he's anti-Trump.
But is he Republican?
I think he's kind of, you could consider it that, but he's very anti-Donald Trump.
It's weird to me because I think he's a gay man,
Yes,
right?
he
Yeah,
is.
I mean, it's unusual, right?
Listen, people can do what they want. I just don't understand. Just like I say, I don't know how to change. You could be a service member and support Trump. How you could be a woman. That's another, add that to the list. How you can be gay and support. Like, I don't understand that.
I don't either. Yeah.
Be a Republican in general.
Yeah.
They're anti-gay marriage. Most of them on the evangelical right say that you're a sinner. Like, I just don't understand that.
I don't understand it. So
But Tim's not going to be there on Wednesday, though.
No, he's not. Although, Tim, if you'd like to have me on the show, I know you follow me on Twitter. So
Robbie just did. Robbie was just.
I know.
on the
Yeah,
show.
I saw it. Yeah. So definitely hit us up for that. But so Mercedes will be there. Kyla, her name's Not So Erudite. She will be there. We're going to have, who I think she'll also be on your show too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She'll be, yeah.
Yes.
And then we will also have Andrew JD. He's an upcoming debater. He's really good. Highly recommend people follow him. And I feel like I'm missing people, but that's
Destiny will be debating students for about an hour or so. So
Yeah.
anybody, and you don't have to be a student. You could be anybody.
Yeah,
right?
anybody can come.
Yeah, there's no age
Yeah.
limit. Okay. We're not doing a Turning Point event. You don't have to be a college student to debate. And I guess, you know, I guess for maybe 30, 45 minutes, I'll be debating to start for people who want to come up there. I'm the opener for Destiny, I guess, which I'm totally fine with, by the way. So, but yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I enjoy face-to-face debates. I do. As long as you're not a Trump supporter that physically assaults me with their sign, I'm totally okay with that. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. So it's in the amphitheater at UNLV this Wednesday. It starts at 11 a.m., right?
11 a.m. Yep. We will be there till about 2:00. So anybody and everybody is free to come. There will be very heightened security. So if you want a good spot, please come early. If you want to be as close to the tent as possible. And, you know, all the support that we can get helps us to get to other college campuses. So if you want to see us, go to the Blexit. We've had a million requests via email to go to the Blexit stops. We would love to go to those. We would love to
explain to people what that means.
Yeah. So the Blexit crowd is, I guess, who is in there? Topher. Who are these other idiots? No, it's not Candace. She's not part of Turning Point, right? It's basically a bunch of Black conservatives that are going to HBCUs and clearly are not welcome there. Some of the students at the HBCUs have reached out to us via
Cam
email.
Higsby is one of those idiots, by the way.
He's going on Blexit.
Am I wrong? I thought he was, but maybe I'm wrong on
Well, Cam Higsby, let me tell you about
He's
Cam.
another moron.
This guy gets so upset when he gets kicked off college campuses. They're too stupid to even apply for a permit. So yeah.
If somebody takes his hat off, he acts like he was sexually assaulted.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not condoning somebody, but you know how many people in my life have grabbed my hat and taken like I don't know, it's weird. When I do Tim Pool's show on Friday, I'm going to see if you'll swap hats with me.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, anyway, Z, first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Honored to be a part of your group, the Unleft America Tour, a group of awesome people, and I had a chance to meet most of them last month, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it again on Wednesday. Again, 11 a.m., yours truly. I will be there. Get there early. And as Z mentioned, a lot of other speakers and a lot of other people that are going to be doing debates, including Destiny, and I can't wait to see the get-up of Robbie Roadsteamer. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's free. That's the best part. It's free. Okay. No excuses. Even if you're working, take a sick day. 11 a.m. on Wednesday at the outdoor amphitheater. Is that what you would call it?
It's outdoor, but it's in the middle of campus. Also, definitely go to our website and get your tickets soon for AmFest, because we are selling our tickets really fast.
And that's going to be in Phoenix, right?
Yeah. And right now they're super cheap. They're only $25. So if you get them this week, they're going to stay $25, but we are going to raise the last 100 tickets.
And I heard a rumor that I might be there as well. That's what I heard. I heard a rumor.
I've
heard that rumor as well. Well, Z, thank you so much. Look forward to this event on Wednesday, and looking forward to meeting all the listeners out there. I met a lot of you yesterday, and I can't wait to see you guys on the UNLV campus on Wednesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Z, thanks for being here, and we will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day, everybody.